Welcome back. Were the warning signs ignored? 4 days before the body of June Lynn was discovered dismembered, Toronto police received a tip from a lawyer in Montana. He saw a video online that he believed depicted a murder. Now, despite pressure to release the recording of the lawyer's call to authorities, Toronto police say they will not be making it public. For his analysis, security expert and former RCMP officer Leo Knight joins us live via Skype from Vancouver. Hello, Leo.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I guess the first question that I have to ask for you is, based on your experience, should the police release this video? And if they shouldn't, what reasons would they have not to?
You mean the audio tape?
Yes, sorry, I said video. You're right, audio tape.
Yeah. In my view, it's because I would guess that they're trying not to make the Toronto Police Service look like they've missed something. Yeah, I don't really think it would. Frankly, I mean, the call was taken by a civilian, somebody working in their call center, and where the 911 calls and non-emergency calls go. That person is obviously trained, but it is a civilian. And the Toronto Police, much like the Sun newsroom or the newsroom of the Toronto Star or CTV or wherever, they get a lot of crank phone calls from a lot of strangely mentally disjointed people, and it's very conceivable that this person thought that. And indeed, what Toronto Police have said about this, that they referred the person to Crime Stoppers, and the lawyer has said that he asked for an email so he could send a link, and the civilian phone operator said politely declined and referred him to Crime Stoppers, which is probably the appropriate thing to do. And I don't understand why TPS would not release that audio.
Well, based on that, Leo, I mean, the question here is also this. You have a person who most likely declared himself as an officer of the court. Is any special priority given to calls that come from people of that nature?
Well, the person was calling from out of country, was calling from Montana, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. He could say he's a lawyer. He could say he's, a cardinal of the Catholic Church. He could say whatever he wants, And as I said, and let's not lose sight of it, is that the police get a lot of phone calls, especially coming in through the non-emergency line, as this one did, from a lot of crank callers, as I say, the Sun newsroom.
I don't want to put the police on trial here, so to speak, because quite frankly, as you pointed out, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of crank calls on any given day. But when something like this happens and the optics look like the police missed something, what's the reparations you can do here? I mean, I'm talking about the actual release of the audio file. Why wouldn't they want to do that, to take the onus off of them at this point in time?
I can't imagine why, but I can't explain the media relations strategy of the Toronto Police Service or any other police agency in Canada. And frankly, that's a whole other hobby horse of mine, is talking about media relations and the police and how they seem to continually screw things up.
Well, let's go down this road a little bit then, Leo, because frankly, I think you've opened up a door here. And that's the fact is that perhaps by releasing this tape, the media could be of some service. I mean, this call, and the public could be of some service. This tip came from a public person. So maybe there should be is there a possibility that there could be some sort of, I don't know, vehicle for the police to use where they can engage the media or the public to help capture criminals, particularly when crimes of a heinous nature are committed?
Exactly. But again, if you look at the media relations aspect of this, Brian, we're only talking about this because police have seemingly tried to hide something. I'm not saying they are hiding something. I'm saying it seems like it. And that's the reason that we're talking. Whereas, again, an effective media relations strategy, in my opinion, would be to knock it down by minimizing it, by explaining what it is if you're open and upfront. 99 times out of 100, the police do everything exactly correct, and yet they don't seem to want to talk about it. And I don't honestly understand that. I mean, let's be realistic. You've got to talk about something. That's what you're being paid to do. And you're going to fill the air with something. Why would they want to give you something when they could easily knock it off the air? It doesn't make sense to me.
That's a good question, Leo, and I think that's something that we have to examine another time. We have a lot more time than we have now. I want to change tacks for a second here and talk about the reporting of crimes on the internet. Is there a procedure for that that's being put in place by law enforcement? Because it's a difficult thing to do.
It is indeed, and in fact, no, I don't think there is any procedure, certainly none that I've ever heard of. And the remarkable thing about this story, Brian, too, is that the speed of which the citizen investigators seem to have worked in this to identify Luca as the perpetrator, or the likely perpetrator of this thing. What started off as, I guess, he had posted what is essentially a snuff video online, and people watching this video at bestgore.com, which I'm got to admit, I mean, these are some strange people. If you've ever looked at that website, I just did this morning before we did this interview. And
yeah, I mean, you and me both.
You know, and what's even more puzzling, if you see there's a members login thing, I'm wondering, is this lawyer, you know, where did he get the video? And anyway, that's a whole other question.
Yeah.
But if in terms of reporting this, the internet is a developing phenomenon, as you know. We've heard about snuff films, and in my 30 plus years in the trade, I've never actually seen a snuff film. I've heard about them, I've heard of their existence, but I've never actually seen a real one. They're so not only rare, but in pre-internet days, I mean, they just weren't available. Nowadays, with using the internet, suddenly a snuff film, as we are talking about now in this case, has been seen by hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Well, Leo, I think you just opened up yet another door for us to explore, but we don't have enough time. But before I go, I would like to get you to comment on this. Could this be the spur to change police tactics in how we do approach crimes on the internet?
The police are playing catch-up all the time with technology. It wasn't 10 years ago that they were just essentially getting into the whole concept of forensic analysis of CPUs and computers and other high-tech instruments such as cell phones and text messaging and whatnot. They've evolved now to the point that almost every policing agency has a high-tech crimes unit. There is an association called HTCC, which is the High Tech Crimes Consortium, which is where investigators now get together and talk amongst themselves and put up problems and see if somebody else has found a solution to it. The whole world of investigating technology and the internet is a greatly evolving world right now, and the police are definitely playing catch-up.
Leo, thank you for your time and your expertise. We appreciate it here at Sun News.
You're very welcome, Brian.
All right, that's security expert and former RCMP officer Leo Knight joining us live via Skype from Vancouver.